What's going on YouTube? It's your boy PH Boom Harris, and today I have a bit of a country showcase for World of Tanks Blitz. Now, this is tying into the training videos I was putting out for the clan and for you guys, the average tanker for World of Tanks, because there's a lot of skills in PC World of Tanks that aren't translating into Blitz, and I thought I should do some videos on it just to pretty much help people know these skills and really show off some of that gameplay that you don't really see in Blitz, even though it's extremely viable. And honestly, due to the lack of its use, it's probably a game changer. It's like 2 steps from hacks at this point. So, we're going to go through more training videos later down the line, but I'm pretty much going to do a country showcase. And the reason why I'm doing a country showcase instead of another training video is because there are multiple countries in World of Tanks Blitz. From special tanks that don't really have a nation to, everyday nations, US, Germany, Japan, Russia, and Great Britain. And some people will say, oh, well, this tank is amazing and this tank sucks. And really, there is no tank in this game that sucks. Except maybe if you count the tanks they give out every New Year's, like the T7 combat car, that thing's pretty much some garbage. And they know it. They've made videos like, yeah, we know we give out shit tanks. But really, it's just us giving you extra money in like a slot. But I digress. What I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of highlight where these tanks shine in accordance with the training videos, because the training videos showcase moves you can use with tanks to make them better, and the country showcase will pretty much show you what tanks do what. So if you haven't noticed, because we're pretty much in a German tank right now, we're going to do Japan first. And because they're the newest and they're pretty much the easiest to break down, they will be first. Now, ignoring the Anko here, which I'm still flipping out about inside like a silent schoolgirl, we're going to pretty much talk about the meat and bones of the Japanese tech tree. Namely, tiers 2 through 4, which is the lights and the mediums. And then tiers 5 through 7, which will be medium only. Now, the first tank in the Japanese tech tree is a Renault Otsu, which is no different from like the German MS1. No, not the German MS1, but the Russian MS1. They're pretty much the same, and I think the Brits got the medium. Okay, so this isn't like the PC. I was thinking PC tanks. Ignore me. Okay, so the Renault Otsu is a French tank. It's pretty much something you'll see if they ever bring out French tanks in the game. It's just like the MS1, same characteristics, and honestly, you'll breeze through it if you've ever played this game more than 5 minutes. Not really worth mentioning. Here's where we're getting to the meat and bones of this. It's when you talk about the tiers 2 through 4. Now, tiers 2 through 4, it splits up into a light and medium tree, and lights have the Hago, the Kini, and the Kiho. The Chini, the Chiha, and the Chihi are all the mediums, and pretty much the only difference between them is the lights are fast and zippy, and the mediums up until 4 pretty much have a lot more armor. Their armor is actually very comparable at those tiers. They have a high fire rate just like the lights. They're just not as fast. It's only when you get to tier 4 then you start to realize the armor isn't any good, and that pretty much holds through pretty much for the rest of the mediums up until like the STA1, the Type 61, and the STB. Even though I haven't gotten it, I've read their stats. They drastically changed the Japanese tank game up, which is why I pretty much only see videos on them. So, pretty much lights are fast and zippy and have the same gun with the same fire and same damage. Mediums are not fast and zippy, and up until 4, they actually have okay armor. Once you hit 4, you kind of start seeing the trend that they have with mediums. And essentially what it is the armor is non-existent. It's as paper thin as a Japanese sliding door. A country reference. And they don't protect you against anything. So, what good are they? If they're a tank but they don't have any armor, what's their strength? Well, we'll go ahead and show off the tanks, and if you haven't gotten the hint from me mentioning in the training video, look at this giant gun, look at all that space around it where it can move and everything, and look at that chassis. It's not in the way. Pretty much hulling down and angling and gun depression of the cannon is its main strength. So with all of the tanks, you can pretty much point your barrel into the dirt and shoot. Now, in flatland, that makes no sense, but if you're poking over a hill at an angle and you're trying to shoot over, other tanks cannot do that. They'd have to expose their entire body to you, while you can pretty much just peek over and shoot shallow profile, really high angle. So even though the armor is crap, you might get lucky and RNGesus might smile upon you, and the moon might be in retrograde, and like the luck may have aligned and you may have won the Powerball and you might get a ricochet. Don't expect ricochets on this. So you pretty much want to peek over, bust 2 shots with your high rate of fire, and then run or spot. Because if you've noticed, as soon as you get to the mediums, they start getting taller. They start getting a higher profile. And that little hatch on the top pretty much can be used to poke over. Oops. It can be used to poke over and spot enemies, even in really high hold down positions that only say like a KV2 or like an M4 could poke over. So you can spot, you're fast and zippy compared to your enemies and your allies because you have no armor and you have a high rate of fire. So use that angling to your advantage. You can pretty much, you can win as long as you can fire without being fired upon. If you surprise people, poke over, bust a shot, maybe 2, and then pull back. As soon as they, get frustrated or the lines really clash together and people start going heads up, you have enough health to pretty much tank reference and pun aside, you can pretty much tank the damage that they're going to dish out to you while you kill them first. And if you can do that for a couple tanks, that's pretty much GG unless you're the last man alive. After that, run for your life, Jap. Run for your life. So, I'm going to show off some gameplay of some of these and just show you the strengths and weaknesses of them. And then some bonus gameplay of the Onco, because it has special shit that I just want to show you guys. Well, let's get on into it. Alright, fast and zippy. Let's see if we can use this to our advantage. Okay, so we pretty much used our speed advantage to try and flank the enemy, even though it turns out they were more than expected. We pretty much lit up their light and medium tanks on the eastern flank. So even with our death, our friendlies should still be able to pretty much hold out and destroy them. Because now they're all lit, and there's no real defense for them to put up. Alright, so now we have the medium Japanese tier 4. Tier 4, right? Yeah, tier 4. So now we're on the tier 4, and pretty much what we're going to do is instead of being all zippy and running around the map, we're pretty much just going to find a spot where we can snipe, sort of, and also kind of use our rate of fire to our advantage. Because holding down on this map isn't quite the most successful strategy. I mean, there are a couple of places that is mainly set on top of a hill and snipe down, except right here. This seems like a good spot. Let's not sit behind this T-28 because that would be a bad teammate move, and we don't want to be bad teammates. We're going to move off his sensor and see, hold down position. We got the front covered. Hopefully that lower glacis plate is covered, and we can aim on the enemy. Like this T-28 over here, who I won't get a shot on, but we know is there. Okay, that Cruiser 4 hasn't spotted anybody, and that T-28 is the only one we spotted. They're all gone low. So where is see, called it. Here they are. we're going to want to start to engage the lowlands. And he juked the hell out of us. Come on, you vodka swilling bastard. Come on. Come on, poke your head out. Damn potato farmer, get over here. Don't you run. He's gonna run into the border and into my sights. There we go. Alright, we got an M3 Lee. He's probably going to be, no, target number 1's going to be up here on the Highlands. We want to eliminate them first. Get our friendlies looking down. QT28 games, kills in one game. Is that yes it is, there we go. T46, we must really hate the Russians this game. Yeah, he's gonna run. Oh no, he's not. He's going to not run. He's finally gonna run. Engine's out, got him. Alright, now we're gonna get Americans just so we're not prejudiced against the Russians. Fast fire rate, you're not even going to come close. And that's GG with 4 kills. Let's hear it one time for the Japanese. Hey! Last but not least, we got the Chinu entering the fray, and just like its tier 4 medium counterpart, we want to use the environment to our advantage. So we're actually going to stay over away from the flat rail yard and see if we can poke out over anything juicy like this lip over here. Let's go ahead and hit the nitrous and bring our sweet cheeks over here with our awesome winter camo. And this is one of the perfect hold down positions in the game. It is a flat land hold down position. Depending on your tank's profile, you can pretty much pony up straight to it. And lower glacis, pretty much everything but your gun is covered. It is one of the best hold down positions in game, and rare few tanks can do it because you either have to be tall enough or have the gun depression to pony up to this little lip while being able to put your gun over. And they've all gone rail yard while I was talking, which is bad. And we're going to essentially flank them because there's only one person up on rail yard and they need help. So we're going to go for this pay-to-win T14 over here, which is a nice tank, has great armor. See if we can put a shot through there and then move on. Alright, we've been spotted, but no matter. We want them to know we're here, so they at least look away. There's an Onko down, which isn't good. That's a miss. I want to shoot him through this train. Alright, there we go. Getting some good penetration. Somebody has a shot on us. There we go. Save the cap there. Although we probably just killed ourselves. And somehow we were too high up to point our gun down, which is annoying. Now we gotta play peekaboo. Alright, this is hopefully not going to be a death. Where is the team? They're not even here. Like, if someone could help me, this would be great. Okay, I gotta go scream at this team now. Yeah, I just did the most there by myself with all of them trying to somehow snipe up here, which, if you've never played this map before, sniping from the low, hilly part forest over there is impossible. This is the high ground. So, we'll probably win this, but goddamn, don't leave your teammates hanging like that. That's a terrible strategy. Alright, so those are pretty much one-off, easy impressions of the pretty much main trees for the Japanese tack line. Go over it once more. We got 2 through 4, light tanks. Fast, zippy, high rate of fire, no armor, low profile. Easy. Then you got the mediums. Higher profile, slower, still no armor. So watch it, but it's with the higher profile, it's easier to spot with, and it's easier to find nice cover to shoot over rather than shooting into it or hiding fully behind it. And then you have the 5 through pretty much 7/8. High boxy profile, still no armor, and high fire rate, so you can spot it even easier. Bigger hold down positions are your friend, and you still have no armor. But you're faster at this point than your companions, because at 4, you were slow, but at 5, you are now faster than everyone else. You're like a giant light tank. So that's going to be it. Watch your hold down positions, watch the armor, and go Japan. And I will talk to you guys later, but stay tuned. I have some Onko footage for you that you should enjoy. PHP Harris signing off. Talk to you guys later. Peace.